It is me. I do have. I have snacks. I have drinks. I have snacks. I have drinks. I do have proper hydration. I have proper water. Ready. Anything else I am forgetting? I don't think so. Right, okay. Oh, that's one thing I forgot. I need to have my pony pin. I need to have my metformin. Then I will have my good breakfast. Okay. Haha. We do have live 2D today. Woohoo! The one thing is that I think... Oh no. No, that's good. Okay. Okay. So I'm worried my phone I feel like is too heavy for my mic stand. Because the iPhone 15, I think I've actually got a Pro. Wait. Let me double check. What type of phone do I have? Yeah, I've got an iPhone 15 Plus. So it is... It's a chunky boy. So yeah, it's a bit heavy. Okay. Right. So, where we last left off, we found out that Dark Hurt is, in fact, quite evil. Dark Hurt is, in fact, quite evil and is the is the surviving son of the the assassinated queen that tried to find the cure to the curse, to find out what caused it, and was assassinated by the royal family because she got too close. And he has exacted his revenge upon the royal family by giving them immortal lives, through which he will then torture them for ever and ever. And he's been working so hard to return his mother to life fully and wholly. And that is something that our genes have granted him.
とっても優秀な駒の皆さんと共に日々 切磋琢磨し続けたわけです。ああ、ちなみにリュカさんが生まれた後、彼を暗殺者候補としてカプシーノに紹介したのも僕ですね。
Yeah, and it just basically turns out that Dahut was the one behind all the evil experimentation. He is the reason why Lucas is in the predicament he is, and so is he is the reason why Mathis is in the predicament he is. Yeah, basically we just kind of found out that he's like super evil.
彼のお父さんは僕の母を護衛していたとっても優秀な近衛兵だったので、その息子さんもさぞかし強いんだろうなって母を守れなかった意趣返しも兼ねて。いやでもまさか本当に呪いまで解くことが可能になるなんて。お二人との出会いと将来的な犠牲に感謝ですね。
No, I'm not cold for you. I was like, do I get up and go get my jumper? Because I'm a little bit chilly, but it's not too cold yet. New person. Hey, what's up? Did I sneeze? I don't think I sneezed. I can't be bothered getting up to get my jacket. Leaning his back on experimental equipment, the young man spoke with a satisfied smile. How was your morning, or noon, lunch, afternoon, night? Whatever your time zone is. I am a bit sleepy, because I only had like... I didn't get a lot of sleep. Oh, that. You heard that. Yeah. I do that a lot. I think a cult, like, you can say bless you for sneezes and burps. At least you can in my channel. I'm making that rule right now. Your Majesty, King Liam.
ダハトのままでいいですよ。お二人は僕と同じ思想を持ってる大事で貴重なお友達ですから。
Okay, so even though Dahut is evil, he doesn't consider us enemies, so he might not hurt us. But you're evil. Liam, no. Dahut can continue to smile like the same friendly smile he always had. The first son of the great Queen Christine, Liam Rev Pior, was assassinated by the royal family. He was the supporter who provided assistance to Capucine and John in their research efforts. Exactly. Everyone be blessed. Sorry. I'm coughing. But now that we found out who he really was, his familiar, ever-present smile took on another meaning that chilled me to my core. Oh, honey bun, please. Thank you for popping in, but please sleep. Please sleep before you go to work. I appreciate you popping in, really, but take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, please. What time zone are you in for it to be 1 AM, though? I can't too hot. I guess. Are you in, like, Southeast Asia or something? I'm trying to think of... My geography is really bad, so I apologize. I apologize. I'm trying to think of places where it would be really, really hot right now. Although, oh no. Southeast Asia's kind of... Well, not near. What does the map of the world look like? Um,
お友達？都合のいい道具の間違いだろ。
Adolphus stepped forward to protect me.
あれだけ協力的だったのも、俺たちを利用するための演技だったわけか。
Oh. Sorry, I'm like, I took it aside to be like, what countries are in Eastern Europe? Because I am an uncultured idiot who doesn't know that. Cool. So, Eastern Europe is a region with varying definitions. Some commonly, so not all of them. Commonly cited countries include Belarus, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, and Ukraine. But some countries also included are Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and some parts of Russia, as well as countries in the Balkans like Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia. That is a country I've never heard of before. Herzegovina, Montenegro, and Macedonia. North Macedonia. Interesting. I have not heard of a couple of those countries before. I'm actually gonna lie. I've never heard of Herzegovina, and I've never heard of what other one? No, I've heard of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. I can't pronounce it to save my life. Interesting. I am being learned. I'm learning stuff. Geography has never been my strong suit. But cool. I've never met someone from the area before. Well, I hope it cools down for you and doesn't. Oh, hiccups. It doesn't stay too hot for you.
やだな。演技なんかじゃないですよ。僕は心からお二人を好ましく思ってます。けどたまたま本当に残念なことに偶然お二人が僕の願いを叶えるための材料たる条件を揃えていただけです。同じ研究材料でもみっともなく死んだり蘇ったりしてる少年の腐った僕の親戚一同とは違います。
So he's not gonna be like Capuchin? Dahut slapped the glass surface of the tank containing their lumps of flesh, as if to bring our attention to the difference. In response to his showing of friendship, the only thing we could feel was increased vigilance.
Oh, no. Liam. そんなに母を殺した私たちが憎いというの。
I feel like most children would hate the people who killed their parents. Killed their loving parents. A woman on the floor covered in blood somehow crawled and grabbed Dahut's ankle. Dahut looked down at her and blinked a few times.
いや、別にそこまでじゃ。復讐心はあるにはありますが、優先順位的には3番目ぐらいですね。 僕は他にも成し遂げなければならないことがあるので。
Okay.
っていうか、母様と似た声で呼ばないでくれます？
Dahut spoke coldly and kicked off the princess's hand like it was dirt on a shoe. Hmm? Oh, yeah. It's cool though. I've always wanted to go to Europe. Sorry, I'm snatching. Um.
見ての通り、実験のためですが。あとは強いて言えば、責務。
Did he?
お二人はレーブ・ポワル家が国を支配するため、あえて呪いを解かず放置していることは知っていますよね。でも実は彼らが呪いに触れたがらない理由がもう一つ
Because they cursed
あった
it.
りするんで
They
すよ。
made it. They created the curse in the first place. Dahut gleefully took out a book from his clothes.
ノワージュ家の手記で呪いの正体に気づいた後ね、僕たまたま王族の男しか入れないもう一つの秘密の書庫を見つけたんです。そこに記された記録によれば、
The royal family made the curse. We know that already, don't we?
このアルペシェールの土壌に死神の呪い、その原因である毒素をまいたのは他でもない我らレーブ・ポワール家だったのです。
Yeah. The royal family made the curse to begin with. What? Dahut happily began reading from the contents of the book in his hand, as if reading us a fairy tale. Hundreds of years ago, before this country was possessed by death, and even before this land was given the name Arpachel, a great war took place that engulfed the world. I was right! I called this last stream, right? I was like, wait. Time period wise, could it be that in World War I or World War II, this country was making a bioweapon? And that the curse is that bioweapon. I called it. The fucking royal family were making a bioweapon and it went south. It either blew up in their faces or was used against them. Oh, Luna! Eddie! Thank you for the hydrate. I shall hydration. I am hydration. Hydration? Hydration. Hydrationating. I'm hydrationating. I'm currently being vindicated in my theory. Also, a great war took place that engulfed the world, and the island of Arpachel was targeted by one such aggressor of that war. But the small island, with fewer than 10,000 inhabitants, had no real means of defending their homeland. It was then that the ruling Rev Pure family created this invisible wall. Oh, wait, okay. No, never mind. I was gonna be like, no, they're gonna make a bioweapon to attack everyone else. Then it blows up in their faces. No, okay. So was it to protect them then? It was then that the ruling Rev Pure family created an invisible wall that would close off the country from the outside world. Okay, no, they do biological warfare. I was still right. Again. They went in developing biological weaponry. Oh. One that would release a unique toxin that only affected humans around the country's borders to protect from invasion. But the development was... Yeah, so they were... Yeah, I was still right. It wasn't for use in the war to attack other people specifically, but they were making biological weapons and it did backfire in their faces. But the development was a complete failure. The toxin was more virulent? Okay. I obviously need to read more because I don't know... From the context, I can exposit what the word means, but I have not seen that word before. The toxin was more virulent than expected, and quickly spread across the country itself. Okay, so yeah, it was supposed to be just like on the fringes of the country to deter people from invading, but it just kind of spread everywhere, like biotoxin tends to do. The soil was so polluted that those who were exposed to the toxin suffered a mutation of their genes. Dahut closed the book with a hearty "the end" to finish off the story.
そうか。
Adolfo had broken into a cold sweat.
万が一にもその真実を知られたら、王家の権威は落ち、国民からの反発も免れない。最悪、反乱からの王家滅亡もあり得る。
While we didn't have a large population, there were enough who would take up arms to overthrow the presiding power if needed. So they created the rumor that the toxins tainting the soil were the curse of death. The curse of death. 3. Hundreds of years ago, the Rev Pure family developed biological weaponry to protect the country's borders from being invaded from the outside world. This resulted in the soil being contaminated by toxins that eventually mutated the people's genetics. Genes. Same thing. And they spent years feeding that to the people until it became common knowledge.
人ならざる者。それも神の仕業だというなら、誰も文句のつけようがねえからな。
ですです。それでもなお真実に迫ろうとする者が現れれば、その度殺し尽くしてきたっぽいですね。
So, Queen Christine fell victim to them. That's horrible. She was just doing her best to save the people.
ですよね。ひどいですよね。私欲のためにたくさんの人を殺した責任は。
Okay, yes, that is true, Dahut, but that doesn't mean you should become evil to do so. I'm still really sad that Dahut's evil. I really, really liked him. He was my favorite side character. But then I also love the fact that he's evil. Like, I like the twist. I really do like the twist that Dahut's evil, because you really don't suspect it. Spoilers. But Dahut being evil is a really fucking good twist. And I love it. But I'm also hate it, because I'm also sad. Because I'm like, eh.
一斉に粛清してみました。
He is so cute, but so evil. How do you the truth? Star. I love him. I love him so
死
much.
神が裁いてくれないのなら、正当な国王として、僕が裁いてあげるべきでしょ。
Oh, hee hee. Wait.
死神が裁いてくれないのなら、正当な国王として、僕が裁いてあげるべきでしょ。
Ah, the way his voice goes deep at the end. Hoo-wee. I love him. I love him. I'm adding him to my red flag collection. He fits right in. He fits right in. Dahut's bearing changed, and the air seemed to shift around us. Uh-oh.
なるほど。話だけ聞けば、
Is he gonna go cray cray?
確かにこいつらの自業自得だな。
Is he gonna go full crazy?
だが、ここまでする必要はあったのか？
Adolfo said that it wasn't a matter of right and wrong.
お前の目的はバックアップを取り損ねた母親の完全なる復活。記憶のデータに関してはジャンが行っていた研究で人工的に作り出せるとしても、記憶に適合する肉体がなければ意味がない。カプシーヌの研究を使いゼロから作るとしてもベースになる素材ぐらいは必要だろう。クリスティーヌ女王の血縁であるこいつらの遺伝子という、
Which is Ceres. Actually, now that we think about it, right? From what we've learned.
わお、その通り。もしやちゃっかり生きてたシアンさんに教えてもらいました？それとも僕と同じ目的を持つジャンさんから教えてもらった感じです？
He then joked that Lucas was supposed to be the teacher of the group. Daho began to chuckle at the idea.
あなたの言う通り試しはしましたよ。でもどうも母様には覚醒遺伝、先祖返りのようなものが起きているらしくて。
Atavism? Atavism. Oh, a state where a distant ancestral trait resurfaces in the individual after generations of being lost. Is this going to relate to Cerez's hair color then? Because I remember a lot of people saying her hair is like unique and different. And we've not really seen another blonde character like Cerez.
同じ血縁者でもここにいる皆さんや僕ではその特殊な遺伝形質の代わりにはなれないんです。
失われた女王本人の遺伝子でなければ成立しないってことか。
その通り。だから本来この計画は呪いを解く方法と両立して母様の遺伝子を発見できなければ凍結する可能性すらあったんです。
I'm too cold. Please bear with me a moment. I'm going to be lazy and reach over instead of get up properly so that I can get my jumper because I'm cold. And it is much less effort to get my jumper than it is to close the window. Up. It is very fluffy. I mean, I call it a jumper. It's not really, I don't know really what to call it. It's a hoodie, but it's not like it's like a fluffy hoodie. But this winter, it has been my favorite thing to wear. Because, like, I have a poncho thing that's also very fluffy and warm. But because it's a poncho, there's no arm protection. If that makes sense. Like, there's no long sleeves to protect my arms, you know? So my arms get cold in it. This one has long sleeves for my arms.
でも母様の遺体は獣にでも食われたのか、いくら探しても見つからなくて、正直僕も諦めかけてたんですよね。
Right, but for some reason Cerez is going to have the genes he needs, right? Because Therese was born at the same place his mother died, right?
でも
Yeah. Suddenly, Dahut's eyes widened and sparkled as he set his eyes upon me. Dahut waved his arm, and as if by some trick, the book he just read transformed into another book with a Lycoris drawn on it.
墓荒らしをしてまで手に入れさせたイブさんことノアージュ家の始祖第一の漂流者の記録。ここに記されているリコリスの性質と全く同じ能力を持つあなたが僕の目の前に現れたことで、状況
Me? Dahut laughed and said he would summarize.
あなたのアレロパシー能力が吸収するのは何も毒素だけじゃない。
Mm-hmm.
その通り。そしてあなたはあの黒き花園で生まれ落ちたことにより。
Yeah. She was born in the Lycris field, which is exactly where, like I said before, that's exactly where Liam / Dahut's mother passed away as well. So her body would have rotted away into the soil, and I guess Ceres then absorbed the soil area where she died and got her genes that way. It's a bit far-fetched, but, you know, suspension of disbelief.
リコリスと同じ土壌の毒素やその他の成分を宿すアレロパシー能力を持って生まれたのですよ。ブローが回収したあなたの新鮮な血液からそれが明らかになったのです。
大地に染み込んだ他のあらゆる成分も対象に含んでる。
あなたのその能力を利用すれば我らの遺伝子を汚染する毒素を取り除くことも不可能ではないと専門家が言っていましたよ。
Me? I'm supposed to be like the Lycoris Noage? That weakens the effects of the curse?
その通りだ。調べさせてみたら驚いたぞ。あの忌まわしい女の死体を捨てた場所と全く同じ場所から我らの救い
So
と
it's
な
not
るも
where
の
she
が
died,
現れ
it's
ると
where
は
her
な。
body was just like, her body was dumped.
母様が死に際にあの花畑に流した大量の血液の成分とか。
And that's how she was able to open up the archive, right? It can't be.
そう隠し書庫への道が開いたのも、ただの偶然や故障ではなく必然。あのシステムは正しく部屋の主母様の遺伝子に反応したんだ。
Which meant I wasn't only related to the Lycrises, but also... You're telling me? I'm carrying the Queen's genes, even though we're not related by blood.
そんなデタラメなことが本当にあり得るのか。
あなたの友人のご先祖様が記した記録ですよ。信用してあげてくださいよ、アドルフさん。
He took one step. Dahut stepped into the pool of blood in front of him. He took another step. Knowing what he was now after, we slowly moved back. If there was even a trace of the Queen's genes in me then.
それ以上こいつに近づいてみろ。たとえお前でも容赦しない。
釣れないな。呪いを解く聖女にして女王復活のためのベースになれるんですよ。光栄なことじゃないです。
I mean, does she need to die for it? Or does she just need to, like, donate some blood? Cut off a lock of hair? Donate some bone marrow? Like, does she need to die for it? So you're going to use us to get rid of the curse? He explained his plan after reviving Queen Christine. Oh, that's the same fucking plan that happens in one of the bad endings. I can't remember whose bad ending it. I'm pretty sure that happens in one of Shien's bad endings. Not the canon one, but the bonus ones. He would enhance my allelopathy through genetic modification and create clones of me to bury in the ground and absorb the toxins. He then planned on using Adolfo's normal human cells as an antidote to the curse and encourage growth in Reliver cells. Dahut merely explained his plans, but sounded like those of a mad scientist. I felt a bead of cold sweat roll down my cheek. He now only saw me as a required sacrifice to resurrect the Queen. If he captured me, the only thing left in my future would be testing and experiments that would turn me into another person. As Dahut approached us, we slowly moved back one step at a time, preparing to run at any moment. Suddenly, a shadow appeared from above.
セレス
Adolfo forcefully pulled on my arm and pulled me away from the spot. From above, a giant blade came crashing down, destroying the laboratory's flooring. We somehow avoided the strike, but... Unable to bear the impact and the tug on my arm, I accidentally let go of the capsule, with Anku's head inside. We tried to go after the capsule rolling away from us, but the killer with his halberd in hand stood in our way. Lucas!
オリジナルと偽物どっちだ
Making matters worse, the capsule found its way to...
よいしょ。うわ、首だけなのに意外と重い。
Dahut picked up the capsule that rolled to his feet as he stood behind Virche. Please, return Anku to us. You don't really care about this immortality thing, do you?
いやいや、そういうわけにはいきません。この人が貴重な検体であることには変わりませんからね。それと個人的に、アドルフさんにはこれ以上ひどい実験をしたくないんで。彼を代わりにすることで見逃してあげてもいいですよ。
冥界から来た存在が人間である俺の代わりになるわけねえだろ。
He's right. He can only regenerate because he's taking the form of a human.
冥界？あれ、もしかして何もご存じない感じです？
What?
2人の遺伝子を比較したら面白いことになってたんで、てっきり生き別れの何かだと。
It became Adolfo's turn to be confused by Dahut's odd response. Yeah, what?
まあいっか。 僕の目的には関係ないでしょうしね。とにかく彼はちゃんとあなたの代わりとして機能するんです。
Am I still right about them being the same person? I'll say he's a suitable replacement for you because he is you, just from a different time. I'm super smart. I can foresee all of the plot points.
だから残る研究素材リコリスの聖女様を僕にください、お兄さん。
Hearing his proposal,
調子に乗るなよ、クソガキ。
I heard something snap inside of him.
何を統治者気取りして自分を正当化してんだ。
Uh-oh. Something broke. He Angie! Angie Adolfo.
矢面に立たせ他者に手を汚させた時点でお前もそこの王族たちと同罪だろうが。被害者なら何をしても許されると思ったか。
Adolfo expressed his anger without taking a breath.
こっちはリライバー技術と呪いの剣だけでもついていくのが精一杯だってのに。お前が計画して起こした犯罪や研究は火事だとか善悪以前に何もかもが恐ろしくておぞましいんだよ。これ以上命をいじる意味のわかんねえ技術で俺とこいつを振り回すな。
Adolfo. He wasn't trying to convince him to go about it another. He wasn't trying to convince him to go about it another way. He also wasn't focusing on the fact that Dahut betrayed us. Adolfo was simply criticizing the hypocrisy present in Dahut's own belief system. Dahut was initially taken back, but oh, my favorite crazy baby. The moment he finally understood what he was told, his shoulders began to shake.
あなたってほんと面白い。
He began to laugh like a madman. But he wasn't showing any malice or hatred towards Adolfo.
でもそうだ、その言葉をずっと私は聞きたかった。お前のそのいかなる死も正当化しない心がこの国の民に欲しかった。
He looked at him with pure respect.
命を限りあるものとして尊び、理不尽な死や生の操作を恐れることのできる素晴らしき人間性。それが私が母から教わった心。そして蘇らせる母に与えたいもの。
He spread his arms wide and raised his voice.
アドルフ、お前こそがやはりこの国で唯一の普通の人間で、私こそがこの国で最も狂った人間なのだろう。ああ、心の底から羨ましい。私も誰かに教わることなく生まれながらにそんな心を抱いてみたかった。気が変わった。母の素材も必要だが、アドルフ、私はもっとお前と普通について問答してみたい。
I've changed my mind. I'm gonna make you my pet. Basically, right? Maybe not, but the idea is funny.
彼女と共に足の一本でも切り落として
There's the
逃
crazy.
げられなくしてでも。
Bruh. I gasped at the threat he made so easily, but Dahut's words were interrupted by a pulse echoing throughout the laboratory. The only ones here were the royal family and the rest of us facing each other. Dahut looked around surprised by the unexpected sound when suddenly, with a burst. Oh! Anku! He's gonna expand like a freaking sponge dino that you put in water. I don't know what they're called. Do they have an actual name? The little dino things that, like, well, they're not dinosaurs, but like the little capsule things, and then you put them in water and then they expand into dinosaurs. Or other shapes. The capsule Dahut held within his arms expanded inside and swelled into a large mass of flesh. Anku? Oof. That's an amazing visual. I need to sneeze. I am so glad I caught that in time. That was a loud one. As Dahut's eyes widened, Anku's upper torso completely regenerated.
やったな。本格的に化け物じゃないですか。
何、心まで化け物になり果てた君には負けるさ。あの男ばかりを警戒していたものだから油断していたよ。
I'm guessing by him he means Xian.
まさか君のような前にはいなかった傑物が生まれてくるとは。
Completely awake, Dahut's Anku's massive flesh slowly wrapped around Dahut's small neck. So is he just a... Is he a snake? But right now he's a head attached to a torso that is then snaking around him. Yep, that's a sight. But before he could choke him, Virche swiftly moved to save his master, slicing Anku's flesh away. Anku's body flew into the air, and before it could land, fully regenerated back into form. Adolfo and I rushed over to him, surprised to see him standing without a scratch. Anku, I'm so glad you're back to your old self. Unfortunately, Virche is... Yeah. We didn't have time to celebrate our reunion.
ああ、これはダメだね。おそらく写しみ、偽物だろうが、彼には勝てない。彼女を連れて逃げることを勧める。
言われなくてもそのつもりだ。というか、そんなことができるなら、もっと早く起きろ、寝ぼすけ。
Adolfo stopped the puddle of blood between us and Virche, blocking his vision with a spray of red. In that moment, Anku took my hand and held it tightly.
すまなかったね、姫君。私のために随分な苦労をかけてしまったようだ。この手を決して離さないように。今度は私が君を助け導こう。
Okay. As Adolfo led the way, Anku and I followed right behind him. I couldn't run very quickly because of the water dragging me down.
焦る必要はない、姫君。地上に出れなくても、奴らを負けさえすればいい。
Okay, but Lucas, his clone is on Dahut's side, so they'll catch up to us eventually.
こうなったら二手に分かれるか。一人がおとりになって追っ手を引きつけ、残る一人がこいつを抱えて逃げる。
それしかないね。君に彼女を任せるのは尺だが、ここは私がおとりになろう。
Anku released my hand from his. You just said you would hold my hand forever. Do I need to make a save here? Is my question. No, I do not. It's just, but we finally reunited. And then we get the Evermore end, which is technically not a despair end. Yeah, we'll get the Evermore end, Kiss of Eternity. But Anku, we're finally able to escape together.
大丈夫だ姫君。また遅れを取って君を心配させるようなことはしない。
Anku's is pulsing. That is weird. Interesting, okay. I still think they're the same person somehow. And that Anku's like from the future. Or a different timeline.
この男も少しは成長したようだからね。しばらく預ける分には。
Suddenly, the entire passage began to rumble.
なんだ。
揺れ以外にも何か遠くから聞こえて。ステレス、今すぐそいつに捕まれ。大量の水が流れ込んでくるぞ。
Okay. I went pale at the sudden warning and quickly reached out to Adolfo. Before I could grasp his hand, Adolfo grabbed my arm and pulled me into his arms so that I wouldn't be washed away. From afar, I could hear a heavy roar that I could never imagine was coming from water. We wouldn't be able to escape it. But as long as we were holding on to each other, we shouldn't be separated. Or so I thought. When a shadow swiftly descended upon us, I felt Adolfo's hand leave me. It had been swept away. Bloody hell. Damn Barreau clones. Huh? Standing between us was Barreau, whose halberd cut cleanly through Adolfo's wrist. Ouch. Above us, Adolfo's dismembered hand threw through the air. Fun. Adolfo.
おい、何をほうけている。早くセレスを。
Yeah. Barreau took me under his arm and leaped incredibly high. He grabbed one of the cords hanging from the ceiling. Adolfo's hand fell into the water when suddenly a torrent of muddy water came crashing through and swept the two of them away. The man-made disaster swallowed them whole and carried them off in an instant. Adolfo! Anku! I reached down from the ceiling, but it was no use. Adolfo, struggling to keep his head above the murky water, shouted with all of his might.
セレス！くそ！なんで！俺はお前を守ることがいつもできないんだ！
Oh, baby.
ああ、二人一緒に流れちゃうとは。まあでも、彼女がいるなら、きっと、取り戻しに来てくれるよね。でも、やっぱりいいな。あの無力っぷりが。普通の人間って感じ。
He says it in such a cute way, but you can tell it is just the most insulting thing.
悪魔を払う行為そのものを指すと同時に
Oh, Emile Claude. Mathis' mother? Technically.
遠い異国では誓いや言命を表す言葉が元になっているそうよ。
I recalled such knowledge from a friend who was familiar with the languages of the outside world. It was a word that perfectly matched my mission and my beliefs. This time, finally this time, I would build a new place where I could work to save the people by purging death from the
死
country.
神の呪いから大事なものを守りたいと願う同志は私のもとに集うがいい。
At first, only a few answered my call, but the number slowly grew as I worked hard to spread the news, finding those who agreed with me. Eventually, the group I gathered became an organization that sought the future made of normal
この
humans.
人たちとならきっと呪いにも打ち勝つことができるはず。
I believed it from the bottom of my heart. But to use the words of that lout, I apparently didn't have the eye for people.
あなたの考え方は時代遅れなんですよ。わざわざ能力に劣る普通の人間に戻りたがる愚か者がこの国のどこにいるというんです？
Oh, right, yeah, Capuchin. Killing her and taking over, right? The organization I built was quickly stolen, along with the lives of those who agreed with me. Soon, the group would become a cult that would do nothing but denounce relievers completely.
Mataka.
That man who reconstructed me after finding me washed up on the shore expressed his disappointment. Orthodox means won't do you good, so you need to change your approach. You may not have any talent as a scientist, but you excel at leading others. Or so he said. I understood it very well. I lacked the power and position of my former self. I've become a helpless existence. Still, no matter what. Was this Salome? Yeah, this is Salome. So yeah, Salome is the person who originally made the Society of Exorcists. But then she was Orty / Capuchin thought he succeeded in killing her, but then Chien found her and brought her back to life somehow by like doing surgery. This was for the sake of my child and my country.
普通の人間としてのあり方をこの手で掴みたかったのよ。
This way, my dream and my wish. This was my dream and my wish. Oh look, it's all clean now. I must have been unconscious for some time. A breeze blew across my face and I awoke to the smell of iron in the laboratory. Lucas's clone, Ro, had brought me back to the laboratory, where the blood on the floor and the walls were wiped clean. In the center of the room was the one who called himself the rightful king. Died. Barolo led me to the floor, then moved quietly to the door to prevent me from escaping. He didn't speak at all, and stood motionlessly like a puppet. It was hard to imagine that the face under that hood was that of my teacher.
あ、おかえりなさい。女の子を招待するには狭くて暗い場所ですが。どうぞ好きな場所でおくつろぎを。しばらく手を出す予定はありませんから。
I'm trying not to doze off. I've only been streaming for an hour. Dahut must have caused that torrent by releasing a reservoir of water into the underground passage. Even though I glared at him, he spoke to me casually like a friend. Where did that current take a doll for an anku? Dahut probably responded, the ocean.
排水経路は決まってるので、障害物とかに引っかかってなければ、今頃無傷で放り投げられてる頃かと。
I see. I sighed with relief, as it sounded like they wouldn't be pushed into some dangerous location. A dolphin can't swim, but I'm sure he'll be fine with Anko around. I hope. All I could do was pray to heaven for their safety. The young man continued to speak as he moved through the work. As he moved about while working the equipment. Jeez. I was supposed to be his enemy, so I was puzzled as to why he was so unguarded around me when I wasn't even restrained. Can I ask what you're doing?
ああ、やっぱり気になります？実はこの装置も僕にとってはなかなかの力作でして。
Oh boy. I need to turn on my fan. Ish. I need the cold air to wake me up. This is what I get for staying up until 4 a.m. watching Supernatural. Seriously, I was up till not even 4 a.m. Probably more like 5 a.m. watching Supernatural. So I only really got like 4, maybe 3, maybe 5 hours of sleep. Completely my fault. I get it. But the cold chill of the air on my fan should hopefully keep me awake until the end of the stream. Perhaps happy that I was inquisitive, Dahut turned around and spoke with a cheerful smile, as if a flower had bloomed. The situation made me feel awkward, since his smile made him look no different from before, just a young and innocent boy.
で、ここをこうして、最後にこの機能をポチッと発動させると、アルペシェール国民を一人残らず殺すための仕掛けが発動するんです。
Bitch, what? Huh?
言ったでしょ？僕は化け物だらけの
No,
国を
yeah, he's gonna kill everyone.
滅
Honey
ぼすもの
bun.
だって。
Don't do that. That's bad. Suddenly. A thundering sound that heralded the end could be heard throughout Arpachel, roaring from the heart of the country. What are you doing? Oh shit.
What?
The shock was first felt in the plaza in front of the Institute, which had still not settled down from the previous chaos. Deep underground, the earth itself shifted, causing a ripple to the surface that almost knocked Hugo and the other core members to the ground.
おいおい、ただでさえ混乱してるのに勘弁してくれよ。これ、あれか？地震？この国じゃめったに起こらないってのに珍しいな。5年ぶりか？結構強かったし、研究所が崩壊しないといいけど。だな。こっちはまだアドルフたちの状況もつかめてねえんだ。これ以上の面倒事はごめん。
As Hugo and the core talked to each other, the sound of something dry cracking echoed throughout the area. A few minutes ahead of them, near the entrance of the Institute, The ground suddenly collapsed with a roar. Each of them looked in shock as a number of civilians fell into the gaping hole.
おい、冗談だろ。
They looked into the big hole spread out in front of them, supporting each other so they wouldn't fall in. They couldn't see the bottom. Not only was it extremely deep, the fall must have killed most of them. They could only vaguely hear the sound of people groaning for help.
生存者がいる。誰か詰め所から長くて丈夫な縄持ってこい。いや、持ってきてもこの深さじゃ届かねえだろ。あ、だよな。悪い。俺今かなり動転してるわ。
Tie them together. He then went deep into thought until sweat appeared on his head.
警備兵を探して呼んでこい。あいつら全員王族どもに解雇されて暇持て余してんだろ。使えそうな道具のありかとか知ってんじゃねえか。
The core members nodded at Hugo's order and quickly took action when
その必要はありませんよ。自警団の皆さん、今から3秒後に生存者はみんないなくなりますから。
なんだと。
a screen of light appeared in the sky. The image was filled with static, but the sound of a boy's voice boomed across the
そ
plaza.
れでは皆さんご一緒に。3、2、1。
0. A moment of silence. Soon, from which the newly made chasm onto which the people fell. Ooh, the thick, musty smell of iron blended with the pungent smell of medicine rose from the gaping hole. Hugo immediately became nauseated and covered his nose and mouth at once. He couldn't hear the sound of groaning anymore. What the fuck is doing that? Oh, shit. The fuck is in that water? Acid? The static on the image disappeared and was replaced by the image of a waterway filled with red blood. Bruh. In that river, a mass of bodies floated along, their expressions frozen in agony. It was clear that they were the same bodies from the crowd that was in the front of the core earlier. Some fainted from the sight while others looked away from the horrendous image.
なんだよ、ありゃ。まるで死神の呪いの末期症状。
Little did Hugo know that the image he was seeing was displayed all across Virche. Shit. The Claude family's basement laboratory was also no exception. All devices had been hacked to show the horrific image. Before they could head out to save Adolphe and Ceres, she and the others saw it and froze. Each one of them stared with a frown. The image changed yet again. It transitioned from the tragedy that just occurred to a young man in a lab coat. The young king of Virche that no one knew addressed his subjects for the first time.
ごきげんよう。アルペシェールの愛すべき国民諸君。私はクリスティーヌ女王の第一子リアム・レーブ・ポワール。このアルペシェールを治める本来の王位継承者として私は私欲にて民を虐げる戦王鉄槌を暮らしに戻ってきた。
At the sudden appearance of a self-proclaimed king, the sudden declaration of their former king's punishment confused the people. A recording was then played. of the royal family's explanation to Ceres, and in moments, the people were enraged by the crimes of the royal family and welcomed the emergence of a new king who would condemn them. Completely forgetting the bunch of people he just killed, I guess. The people quickly united on that front. They immediately believed that the new king would revive reliable technology to become the new savior. Yeah. They're freaking dumb. The people cheered him, as if completely forgetting about the deaths from moments ago. The king heard the roar of happiness and gave a gentle smile that would entrance any soul who laid upon him. Like I'd save you, idiots. And that was all that was needed to plunge them into the depths of despair. The people stretch out their arms towards the image of Dahut as if to appeal his sense of mercy. Hiccups. Dahut looked down for a moment. He quickly looked up, showing the audience how his expression suddenly changed. Okay, but the thing is, Dahut, there are so many people who actually do want to live normal lives on the island and have actually decided that they're not going to relive. Dahut gently smiled and probably said that none of them remembered. Yet again, his expression changed as if he was a different person. After the Queen's death was made public, the people did cause a stir for a moment, but within a few months they'd all but forgotten about her existence and her goals. Oh, Rain! Hello! What fire? Why? No! Do not burn me. I am already too hot. Lamau, I'm joking. That was a joke. Hi, Rain. How are you? Shit's going down, by the way. Dahut's killing everybody. It's already chaos. It is very cute. Whose is it? Whose emote is it? I need to get emotes. I tried to draw my own emotes, but drawing emotes is hard. He went on to say that while the people were initially surprised, they probably figured out the Queen would return as a reviver. Which is probably why everyone gave little thought to her memory as they spent idle days in waste. Hmm. I should think about emotes soon. There was someone. I was going to commission emotes from an artist, but after saying like, oh yeah, I'll commission art emotes from you next week, she freaking closed her commission, so I was like, okay. So I guess I'm waiting for her to open up again. He mentioned the possibility that most weren't interested in the Ripio family to remember them all anyway.
僕は母の存在そのものより彼女が伝え広めようとした信念が誰の心にも残っていないことが悲しい。そして情けない。本当に昔からこの国の人間の性根は変わらない。短命を黙って受け入れ繰り返される生を当たり前のように享受し、だがいざ命が脅かされれば他者に責任と犠牲を強いる。その生き汚さなんておぞましい。
Dahat's tone of voice and way of speech had completely changed to Liam's once again.
リアム・レーブ・ポワールの名のもとに今ここに宣言しよう。死に堕落したお前たちを私はアルペシェール国民として認めない。救わない。私がこれから率いる国の未来にお前らのような異常者た
Thank
ち
you
は
for your
一切
hydrate. I shall hydrate. After I finish my snack. Sorry. I am eating candy. I am eating candy. Specifically licorice chocolate. Chocolate covered red licorice. It's yummy.
死を受け入れる者も死に甘える者も死神の代行者として今宵誰一人残さず一斉に処分する。これはお前たち国民への宣戦布告、いや処刑宣告だ。
Bruh. Liam then announced the destruction of the plaza was his doing, and once again showed the tragedy flowing underground.
崩落した先にあるこの水路に流れる水はリコリスのアージュから命がけで抽出した短命の呪いの元凶。染色体を汚染する毒素を大量に含み効果を倍増させた薬液だ。それが今この国の地下全
How
体
you,
に
Raim?
巡らされ
Have
てい
you
る。
been? I'm good because I am on holiday from work for a whole week and a half. I don't gotta go back to work until next Wednesday. Woo. I'll just be a Sam.
そこに落下すれば当然 一瞬にして染色体が汚染され命が尽きることになるだろう。今宵深夜0時になった瞬間、国中に仕込んだ爆弾を起動させ、お前たちを私手製の冥界のおでへと叩き落とす。これから再興する新たな国には、私が作り出した普通の人間だけがいればいい。
I am God, I guess, okay.
今この時、私の即位をもって偽りの永遠の命がはびこる時代の抗う意志がある者だけが、もはや替えの利かぬ命をかけて挑んでくるがいい。
In a secluded area of Arbor Shell, which would soon collapse on itself, a single woman watched on with deathly silence at the new king's bold announcement.
なあマム、今の放送なんかヤバくないか？チビたちも不安がってるしよ。前の時みたいに俺がアドルフたちをこっそり見つけ出してきてやろうか。
ダメよ。これ以上あなたを私の事情に巻き込めない。あなたに何かあったら亡きバランド公に顔向けができないわ。
遠慮しないで頼れよ。事情はよくわかんねえけど、死んだ父さんからはあんたを支えろってずっと言われてたんだから。
Salome looked me low in the eye and gave a gentle smile.
ありがとう、ミロ。でも、本当にいいのよ。いい加減、私も。この優しい箱庭に隠れていないで、表舞台に戻らないといけないわね。
Before she fell victim to her own madness, she would need to see the one who had fallen to madness before her. Salome had an important message for the young king. Curiouser and curiouser. I couldn't say a single word as I watched the events that played out before me. After finishing his ruthless speech, Dahut turned off the image with a sweet smile.
ああ、すっきりした。ずっとこれが言いたくてうずうずしてたんですよね。あ、お試し崩落の瞬間ちゃんと見てました？被害者の大半は今まであなたを迫害し、最後は城に突き出したクーネの人たちですからね。鬱憤が晴れてだいぶすっきりしたんじゃ。
Of course not! You've gone insane!
狂ってるか。ま、否定はしませんよ。ですがこれは王族としてのけじめでもあるんです。
Dahut took a few steps forward and sat on a nearby chair. Duty? He directed me with his eyes to take a seat.
少しお茶を飲みながら話しましょうか。この議題は落ち着いた状態で問答すべきことです。
Dahut got 2 cups and began to pour tea into them so that he could quench his thirst after his speech. Unable to bring myself to drink the tea, I simply looked at the reddish surface reflecting my face.
さて、もうお察しかと思いますが、 アルペシェール国民の撲滅こそが僕
'Cause you're
のもう
fucking
一つ
crazy?
の目的です。理由わかります？
Is it because they didn't care about the Queen's teachings and didn't respect life? Dart snapped his fingers and said I was close.
正解は世界のためです。
For the world. Was he playing with me? But Darhut was looking at me in all seriousness.
アルペシェールは外界から遮断されてるからあなたもピンとこないかもしれませんが、この国の価値観と技術は世界全体から見れば本当に危険なんですよ。
Technology? You mean reliver technology? Yeah. Darhut nodded in response, and a screen of light appeared between us.
何も僕だってリライバー技術を全否定してるわけじゃないんです。むしろ反対というか、シアンさんはこの技術を呪いへ抵抗する時間を稼ぐために作り上げた。素晴らしい英断だと思います。彼のその判断がなければこの国はとっくの昔に滅んでいたでしょう。なので僕はシアンさんを心から尊敬していますし、国を治める者として感謝もしてる。
Okay.
でも繰り返し飽きるほどに言いますが、リライバー技術は神の御業と呼べるほどの本当に、なのにそれを生活の一部として受け入れちゃってる。閉鎖的でヤバヤバな国民性との組み合わせが最悪なんですよ。
I was starting to understand where he was going with this. Good, because I don't yet.
いいですか？アドルフさんみたいに生命の創造を禁忌と怖がる人がいないって結構深刻なんですよ。
Was he saying that it was just too widespread? Oh! Hey! It's the world! And there is New Zealand! We're covered by fire, but we are there! I think, yeah. Right in the corner. I was about to be like maps without New Zealand, but no, we are there in the corner. We're a bit too close to Australia. We're a bit too close to Australia. We're not that... It's a bit wrong. The position of New Zealand is a bit wrong. We're a bit too close to Australia, but we're there. He told me to think about it for a second and then the screen changed.
もし遠い未来、鎖国が解除されたり、死の海域の脅威が消えることで、それらの情報が
If the whole
外
world
に
gets
流
a
出
hold
し
of
てしまっ
reliver
たら、
technology, it's game over. Take game pics. Take game pics.
リライバー技術が全世界の倫理観を壊し、命を使い捨てとすることが常識になってしまうかもしれないんです。シアンさんが最も嫌うリライバーの軍事運用だって行われるかも。
Oh, absolutely it would be used for military purposes. Being able to clone people? Absolutely. But I couldn't say that wasn't possible. In reality, nearly all of us had accepted reliver technology as a part of our lives that we couldn't live without.
もしこれが他国で突然ポンと生み出された技術なら、相応の判断が下され、禁忌の技術として忌避、封印されるでしょう。老いない体を繰り返すことで永遠に生きられますなんて銘打っても 試そうとする人はほとんど現れません。普通の人間はアドルフさんのように未知のものを自分で試したくないという防衛本能が働きますから。
In contrast, the people of this
他人
country
に気軽におすすめできるほど死ぬこととリライバー技術に慣れてしまった。大量の前例があるだけで近畿の技術への畏怖や抵抗感は一気に減ってしまいます。技術が外に出たが最後、うちの国民の誰かが言い出すでしょうね。
Cool sci-fi. Yeah, nice. Soon, everyone might become like us. Sorry. Dahut turned off the screen, satisfied I understood the gravity of the situation.
本来レーブ・ポワール王家はそれを律し教育しなければならないところを役割を放棄するどころか悪化させた。だから誰かがその責任を取らなければならない。世界を歪ませかねない倫理観を持つ人間たちを世界に解き放たれる前に処分することで母の復活がダハトの念願ならば、これはリアムとしての使命。僕が断じ、普通に生まれ変わった国で普通に生まれ変わった母には幸せになってほしいものですね。
He added that he was still motivated by past grudges and gulped down the remaining tea in his cup. The weight of Dahut's words made me quiet. I knew that so much of what he was doing was wrong, but the person who concerned about the fate of the country was the same one sitting in front of me. But still, I can't agree with your plan. Among your sacrifices are many of those dear to me. If I was going to be a sacrifice, I wanted it to be to protect them. My intention had not changed until now.
それは僕も残念ですよ。あなたの知り合いには結構まともな価値観の人が多いですから。
But Dahut continued, saying he didn't have the time to be selective. The fact that Adolfo found his way here meant one thing. The ocean, which had prevented people from entering, wasn't as perilous as before. Whatever threats remained of the legends of Death's Curse must also be disappearing from the memory of the other countries. In other words, there might be a third or fourth drifter. One who could survive the journey back to the outside world. Yeah,
な
the
のでまあ、
isolation
そ
may
こは
not
目をつぶっ
be
ていただくしかないでしょうね。
so
もしくは
isolated for long. So please just die.
命がけでかかってこいと喧嘩を売ったので、それを買う人がいればもしかするかもしれませんが。
Dahut seemed rather pleased despite what he was saying. I think Adolfo and the others will come. He was leader of the corps, so he wouldn't allow the murder of innocent citizens without a fight. More than that, especially since I'm here. It wasn't being pompous, it was simple truth. I could no longer deny the feelings he had for me all these years, which is why I could be sure about what I said.
期待して待ってますよ。これ以上の議論はお互いに無駄でしょうし、時が来るまで のんびり待ちましょうか。
Dahut then clapped his hands together as if he just remembered something.
すみません。選別する時間はないと言いましたが、ちょっと例外がありまして。あなたに会わせたい人がいるんです。時間までは退屈でしょうし、話し相手になってあげてくださいな。
Dahut snapped his fingers, and from the door at the far end of the laboratory, Nadia, a royal guard soldier who appeared. A royal guard soldier who appeared was probably one of his mindless generic dolls. He was pushing a single wheelchair. What is that? On the wheelchair was a certain figure sitting anxiously.
セレス、どうしてあなたがダハト君のお家に？
Nadia! Sweetie! Nadia! The figure was a delicate, sickly girl who, like Queen Christine, sought to live life as a normal human. Oh, my precious baby. I'm so glad she's alive and herself. After being sentenced to death by Liam Rev Pior, the people of Arpachel had become more unstable than ever. Some were in their homes begging for Liam's forgiveness. Others were invading the Institute to reach the castle and kill him. Very few were resorting to building makeshift rafts to cross the ocean. In their final hours, they were finally showing their determination to fight against death.
I いざという時の合流場所をこの隠れ家に決めておいてよかったですね。
ああ、俺たちがここに向かう途中で海に放り出された2人を見つけなかったらどうなって。
アドルフが泳げないのは知ってたけど、まさかアンクーまで同じだとは。
Because they are the same person. I'm slowly getting more and more vindicated on that fact. Ish.
大の大人2人が無様に溺れている姿はなかなか見ものだったな。
Oh, my poor boys.
あんたは高みの見物を決め込んでたからそんなことが言えるんだよ。溺れた大人を助けるのってかなり体力使うんだぞ。
My poor idiots. I love them both so much. Oh, my poor dummies. The campfire lit in the cave was surrounded by people, most of whom who were drenched in seawater. Sitting a bit away from the group was Anku, who has already introduced himself and shared the information he knew. Under normal circumstances, Mathis would be asking questions out of curiosity, but he was too quiet. But he too was quiet. It bothered the others that the two recently rescued men were silent, but...
リアム・レーブポワール。この国に残った最後の王族か。まさかダハトが。
狂気の沙汰としか思えねえ計画だが、まあこの国に抱く不満は俺もなんとなくわかるわ。
僕たち呪いとリライバー技術についてもっと早く考えるべきだったのかもしれませんね。今さら後悔しても遅いですけど。
ダハトはあんたの部下だったんだろ。全く正体に気づかなかったのか。
俺への敵意や悪意があれば即座に気づいた。
But because he genuinely didn't.
だがあいつが敵として認識しているのはあくまでこの国そのものだからな。
放置したら一人の例外もなく殺されるっていうなら、まあ乗り込むしか選択肢はねえよな。
うん。セレスの身もいつ危険にさらされるかわからないし、すぐにでも助けてあげないと。 ね、アドルフ。
Oh. Thank you for the resub, cousin. No, it's okay. Don't be sorry. Not much has been revealed, really. So I don't think you've missed much. It's just Liam slash Dahut going on more murder sprees and being like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna kill everyone because you all fucking suck. And if you ever get into the outside world, you're gonna screw everything up. So everyone's going to die. That's kind of basically all you've missed. So don't worry. It's okay. Enjoy your sleep, please. Thank you for the resub so much. Yeah. Basically, Dahut's reasoning is that because everyone on the island has such a fucked up view of death, and Reliver technology has kind of screwed up the entire country people's opinions on death and how death is treated, that if anyone on the island gets out into the other world, or if they get here and they find us and they find Reliver technology and they find us and our view on death, it will ruin the rest of the world because, I mean, it's Reliver technology, it's more life, right? So many other countries in the rest of the world can use Reliver technology to fuck up the world, and Dahut doesn't want that, so he's just killing everyone. And then he's going to bring back normal humans. Yeah, he's correct, but his solution for the problem is genocide. Which is, you know, historically, never a great thing. The ends are not justifying the means, currently, I guess. Although, yeah. He is right, but he is not correct in his method. His methodology is very wrong.
Adolf-san?
But yeah. And then we were right. Cerez is not genetically related to the Queen. To Queen Christine, Liam's mother, Dahut's mother. But because she has absorby allelopathy powers, she absorbed the Queen's genes from the blood in the Lycris, her blood in the Lycris field, where she was born. I think that's kind of it. I think that's the only really big story points you've missed.
Adolf? どうしたの? どこか痛むの?
And a couple of more hints that Adolpha and Anku are indeed more linked than we think.
いや、悪い。少し考え事をしていた。
Yeah. Rain, hello. Welcome back. He looked at his hands that were without a scratch. Adolfo was shaking his... Oh, he grew his hand back. He grew his hand back. Adolfo's becoming more like Anku. He can regenerate his body now. He looked at his hands that without... Yeah, because Barreau cut his hand off as they were escaping. Hey, Rain Sam, that's a mood. I am trying very hard to stay awake, because we are finishing this fucking Despair end. Well, this Evermore end. This stream. And I don't want to fall asleep before we get there. But we're not even on... We're not even on the final chapter yet. We're still on chapter 6, and we've got one more chapter after this, so I'm not sure... We might have to do chapter 7 tomorrow, it depends, but I'm gonna get through as much as I can. Though we're still unsure about his response, they continued.
ダハトに売られた喧嘩を買う上で、俺たちにはクリアすべき3つの課題がある。
First was how to get through the maze-like underground passage to Dahut's laboratory. Second was to prepare a fighting team to face his combat-sized genetic puppets.
そして地下通路内に流れる毒素入りの薬液を無効化する方法だ。
まずその3つ目を解決しないと1つ目も2つ目も話し合う意味ないよな。
呪いが効かないアドルフと人じゃないアンクーはともかく、変異遺伝子を持ってる俺たちは薬液に足を浸した瞬間冥界行きだからね。
ジャンが通った時はまだ毒素が流されていなかったんでしょうね。
毒って分かってんならそれを無効化する特効薬とか作れたりしねえのか。あんた天才なんだろ。
毒素への抗体もないのに無茶を言うな。
What? Pizza. It looks... Cool. Okay. You guys keep using cool emotes. I think I should really try and focus on getting some emotes soon. I will. I've been trying to draw my own emotes, but I'm gonna be honest, guys. Drawing emotes is hard. Like these emotes that we do have. 1, 2. And then the bit emotes that you can't use, I don't think. Like these. I drew these myself ages ago. And they're really shit. And drawing emotes has been even harder. So I'm gonna try and commission someone. I was going to commission someone I mentioned before, but as soon as I was like, okay, sweet, I'll commission you next week, she closed her emote commission. So I was like, okay, I'll wait then. So yeah, now I'm waiting for that person to open up their commissions again. Anku, who had his back against the wall, quietly raised his hand.
お、なんだ。死の番人の力で死んだそばから魂を肉体に戻してくれるとか。
そんな手間のかかる儀式などする必要はないさ。後々私の力を込めた霊薬を君たち全員分用意しよう。それを飲めば呪いの進行をある程度防ぐことができる。
Emotes! Yeah, you can see with the bit emotes, I was very lazy. I was just like, yeah, my face with a couple of random jewels, and then another one, and then one with more. I was very lazy with them. It really didn't take me long to draw those at all. And if you, like, you can't tell because the emotes are so tiny, but the quality of them is shit. It's very not good. It's very not great.
本当かよ。すげえ何でもありなんだな。死の番人って。
言っておくが完璧には不可能。
Me too. That one actually was not drawn by me. That head pad emote was a gift from Sasasachi. She is a very nice acquaintance of mine. We don't get to talk much at all because of time zones, but she is an artist, VTuber. She does mostly story times, like she reads stories and stuff. And yeah, it was a very, very thankfully gift. A very kind gift from her. She drew it for me. Let me see if I can find her. Let me see if I can find her Twitter. I believe she is still following me, and I'm still following her. Sessa. I am on Twitter, you dink. But yes. Did I scroll past her already? There we go. There she is. Copy. That is Sachi. She drew that headpad emote for me as a gift. It's very, very old because you can tell it's old because it's my original 1.0 design. It's my original design because I've got blue hair and purple antennae. Sasa, Sachi. She's so sweet though, honestly. Like, she's European, I believe. I'm not entirely sure where in Europe she is, but yeah, her time zone's completely opposite of mine. But yeah, she's so sweet. I guess I can give you her Twitter. Her Twitch. I'll give you her Twitch instead. Yeah, she streams a lot of art, she draws a lot. She also does a lot of story time. She does really cozy games, really big, like story cozy, like very, very cozy, very, very relaxing games and stories. She reads a lot. She does very nice, wholesome big sister Onea-san vibes. She's an absolute sweetheart, and I wish I got to talk to her more often. I just can't because her time zone is like completely opposite to mine. But yeah, big thanks to her for that emote. But yeah, I do think I will commission more soon. I especially need follower emotes.
たちまち命の危機に瀕することには変わりない。
But yeah, if you ever do manage to pop in, just tell her I sent you. I'm certain you are the bestest older brother ever, Kaza. Full faith.
それでも構わないのなら
十分です。水路内で自由に行動できるだけで状況が全く違いますから。
どうしたんだいシアン・ブロフィワーズ。私に何か言いたいことでも？
いや、特に何も。では霊薬とやらの完成を俺も楽しみにしている死の晩に。
Which now led to two other issues.
通路の構造は俺が把握する。組み込まれている装置をハッキングすれば設計データの一つでも見つかるだろうからな。各自通信機は携帯しておけ。それとクロード家の2人にも付き合ってもらうぞ。
あ、はい。護衛としてでしょうか。精一杯頑張ります。
仕方ないな。その代わりきっちりロザリーの居場所も探してくれよ。
じゃああとは戦力の問題。
アンクーが作る霊薬の量に限りがあるなら自警団の投入はできねえな。とすると少数精鋭での突入か。覚悟はしてたがきついな。
でもそれは向こうも一緒じゃない？ダハトが用意してるというかカプチーノから奪った遺伝子人形だってそう数は多くないんでしょ？
Eve spoke with a perplexed expression, remembering the mad scientist who quickly disappeared from the plaza at the institute.
でもその数少ない遺伝子人形が模しているのって
My other baby.
あのブローリュカ先生なんだよな。最悪だわ。もう二度と戦いたくねえと思ってたのに。せめてこっちにオリジナルがついてくれりゃな。その先生さんは今どこにいるんだよ。
未だ行方知れずだ。オーティに再度操られているが、そのあたりでのたれ死んでいるか。
不吉なことは言わない方が。きっとどこかで体を休めてるんですよ。
I will be genuinely upset if Lucas is dead somewhere.
彼は正気にさえ戻ればこちらの味方なの
I'm awake, I promise.
ならば念のため彼の分の霊薬も用意しておこ
う。Though imperfect, they managed to find solutions for their three issues. They began hastily putting together an attack plan. There were few unknown ways of getting into the underground passage. The Claude family basement, the institute, and the large drain to the ocean where Adolpha and Anku were washed out. But the drain outlet was in the middle of the cliffside, too high to scale from the ocean and not close enough to descend from the top.
なら国立研究所とクロード家の屋敷から二手に分かれて突入するか。どっちからのルートがダハトの研究室に近いんだろうな。
ダハトさんは国立研究所での生活を中心にしていましたし、 暗躍中の移動の手間を考えると、やっぱり研究所からのルートじゃないでしょうか。
俺も同意見だ。
じゃあ俺たちとシアン様は勝手知ったる自分の屋敷の地下から入ろうか。目的はロザリーと地図の作成だし、3人だけでいいだろ
う。ダハトへと続く研究所からのルートには敵が多く配置されてそうだね。
Oh no, he got his body back. I was gonna say he regurgitated it. He did not regurgitate it. He regenerated it. There we go. He regenerated it as we were escaping. But as we were escaping, Cerez also got captured by Dahut. Which meant they would need more people. They came up with a plan to have decoys distract the enemy so that they could defeat Dahut and rescue Cerez. Nearly everyone in the group agreed on Eve's suggestion.
よし、それじゃあ俺とイブがか乱担当で、ダハトの打倒とセレスの救助は呪いが効かねえアドルフとアンクーが。
いや、俺がか乱に当たる。代わりにセレスの救助は。
Yeah, it would. A little bit gross, but also good.
イブに
Also cool.
任せたい。
俺
Yeah. They're like, Eve is the one who deserves Cerez. Everyone turned their attention to Eve when his name came up. Though the others were confused, Adolfo didn't explain further and he got up to leave.
ちょっと待ってよアドルフ。どうしていきなり俺が。
Eve hurriedly grabbed Adolfo by the arm to try and stop him.
嫌なら無理強いはしねえよ。俺以外のやつなら誰でも。
違うよ、嫌とかじゃなくて、俺は彼女を迎えに行くのはアドルフの役目だと思ってたんだ。ずっと君は彼女のことを守ってきたんだろ。なら今回だったよ。
But that's the thing. He think he can't. He think he suck.
俺じゃどうあがいてもあいつを守れねえから、お前らに頼んでるんだよ。
Adolfo forced his arm out of Eve's hand.
悪い。配置の話し合いはこれで終わりだな。
Rip.
アドルフ。
やれやれ。
Adolfo left the hideout, rubbing the wrist where his hand should have been severed by Barreau. Should have. It was. He just regenerated his hand. Adolfo POV. As they continued their conversation, the sun set behind the horizon. Soon night fell and time continued to tick closer to Dahut's planned attack. The field of Lycros Nuages. I looked at the distant ocean from the field I visited with Cerez and Laurent. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't even sure how long it had been since the day I forgot what my homeland looked like. I still hadn't fully accepted this country's approach to life and relivers. But just as I thought I'd finally gotten used to living here, now Dahut was working to destroy what had become my second home.
女王の教え、普通の人間としてのあり方か。意味がわからん。ダハトは 俺みたいなどこにでもいる人間のどこに焦がれるっていうんだ。
Look at me.
惚れた女もろくに守れない役立たずのどこが。
All this time, I tried over and over and over again to protect her body and soul.
いつもどうして俺はあいつの盾になる機会すら与えられねえんだ。所詮よそ者の俺はあいつの人生から弾かれる部外者ってことかよ。
Or perhaps
あいつの嘆きを無視して自己保身に走ってきた報いがこれか。
if so, then it all made sense. Being Dahat's test subject was less painful than this. I could still feel it. The pain from when my hand on Ceres was lopped off. The pain of how powerless I was. And the pain of knowing it was our fate to always be pulled away from each other. Each pain formed an invisible shackle around my wrist. No, baby.
アドルフ、お前こそがやはりこの国で唯一の普通の人間で。私こそがこの国で最も狂った人間なのだろう。ああ、心の底から羨ましい。私も誰かに襲われることなく生まれながらにそんな心を抱いてみたかった。
Yeah, I am nodding off a bit. I'm
贅沢な悩みだな。
I'm getting quite sleepy. I want to keep going, I really do, but I just keep nodding off. I keep micro napping. I might have to put a pause in it soon. I was feeling more and more enraged.
俺は普通なんていらねえよ。
Instead of living a long, peaceful life,
セレスと共に荒れる特別が欲しかった。
no, I mentioned, I am getting really sleepy. I might have to finish off soon. I really wanted to finish and get the despair ending today, but there is just too much left. We've still got a whole chapter to go. So yeah, I might finish up soon. Get into a nice-ish spot where we can pause it and then come back tomorrow. I am off work for a week and a half now. I don't go back to work until next Wednesday. So we have ample time to finish. Oh, he wants to be like Ceres.
アドルフ、ここにいたんだ。
Eve came running toward me out of breath.
ヒューゴとマティスが心配してたよ。
Oh, I shall do the lullaby soon. Let me save the game.
悪い。
I looked away from Eve with my second apology.
謝罪よりも説明が欲しいかな。どうしていきなり彼女のことを俺に託そうとしたの？剣の腕はアドルフの方が上だよね。
剣の腕なんてあいつの危機に震えなければ何の意味もない。
There was another thought I'd been holding back for a while
や
now.
っぱりあいつには お前のようなやつが一番ふさわしいんだろうな。
It was jealousy. Hmm? Oh, thank you for the pennies. Yeah. Yeah, I took some annual leave. So yeah, I'm not back till next Wednesday / Tuesday for you guys. Eve joined the Corps a few years ago. I found out that he was just a kid who I found out then that he was the kid who was burned in that fire. It turned out he didn't have any grudges against Therese. I realized then that he was probably the person destined to be with her. I was convinced of it and relieved at the same time. As expected, Eve became friends with Therese. He ran into her side at the first sign of danger. He protected her no matter what. He never once called her death, regardless of the injuries he sustained as a result of her presence. He was a real good guy through and through. Like the kind of hero you would read about in a story.
何もかも俺とは大違いだ。おまけにお前はリコリス・ノワージュの守護者だろう。ならリコリスの化身と呼ばれるあいつを守れるのはお前以外に。
He was the one. I was just about to ask him to take care of her.
怖いよアドルフ。アンクーといい、なんで二人揃って俺のことそんなに英雄視してるの？
Eve looked seriously unnerved.
いやいや、だってさ、物語の英雄のような存在って言われても、そう見えるように振る舞ってるんだから当たり前じゃないか。
は？
アドルフだって知ってるよね。俺が優しさの見返りに愛を求める傲慢な性格だってこと。お酒を飲んでる時とか、それを前提にいつも外面だけはいいとか俺に冗談だって言うのに、まさか今さらその話を持ち出されるとは思わなかったよ。
Yeah. He was right. Now that he mentioned it.
こいつがただのお人よしじゃないのは嫌というほどよく知っていたのに。
Eve wasn't a person blessed by fate or gifted with talent. He had gone through countless trials and struggled to survive, just to live the life he had now. His physical and mental strength came from his determination to overcome every obstacle in his path. How in the world did I forget that? It was like my thoughts were being invaded by someone who looked up to Eve.
リコリスの件だって完全な偶然。まあ、捉え方によっては確かに運命だと言えるかもしれないけど、それを決定づけるのって結局は最終的な関係次第じゃない？
Eve continued in a serious tone.
俺が彼女との縁を運命だって嬉しそうに口にしたら、アドルフはそうだなって気持ちよく同意できる？
以前なら。
Since the old me saw Therese as my unrequited first love. Oh.
じゃあ今は
When he asked that.
リに決まってる。
I felt like my face was on fire. Apart from Shien and Hugo, I was supposed to be the oldest human. What the heck was I thinking? It was time that I was honest with my feelings.
俺はあいつから告白の返事が聞きたい。
And not just any reply. If those words really came from your heart, Adolpha, then I want to reply to you properly, Even if my response is something as simple as, thank you, or I'm sorry.
聞くならありがとうの方がいい。
It didn't matter how many years it took. Once the curse of death was gone, I wanted her to thank me as a normal girl.
悪い。宣言撤回していいかイブ。やっぱりセレスのことは俺が迎えに行く。
The feelings I had toward her had grown. I couldn't just watch her from afar anymore. I wanted to reach out to her with love.
了解。そうそう。アドルフは俺と彼女の関係を運命だって言ってたけどさ。俺から見ればアドルフの方がよっぽどだと思うよ。
俺とあいつには特別な縁なんて何もないぞ。
何もないからこそ。ゼロの確率から彼女と出会い、恋に落ちる運命を引き寄せたのがすごいんじゃないか。
Eve, you amazing. That did make sense. If I was being pushed away from her life as some sort of outsider, then I would just need to pull Cerez into my life instead. If Cerez's fate was to be with Eve or someone else, I would do whatever I could to fight that fate for the rest of my life.
待ってろ、セレス。
I wouldn't be going there to stop Dahut.
告白の返事を聞くためだけにお前を救いに行く。
I couldn't make up a reason like I was doing this for the country. I really was just some normal guy. After making my decision, I decided to stay out a little while longer. Eve headed back to the hideout to let the others know about the change of plans. Just as he disappeared inside, a certain someone I really didn't get along with approached me.
めめしく悩んでいるところをイブの言葉に救われたようだね。
Anku.
もうあいつのことをリコリスの守護者とは呼ばねえのか？
気分が変わったんだ。
With a simple response, Anku moved to stand by my side. The lycra swayed in the wind as if to welcome the new guest.
それで
I tried to get him to talk as I kept my eyes on the lycresses.
この国の呪いの正体もセレスの性質の理由も判明したわけだが。
What the fuck are you, Anku, huh?
約束通りあいつを今からでも普通の人間にはしないのか？お前がその契約を果たせばリコリスの能力も消える。ダハとも身柄を解放するはずだ。
それは
まあ無理だろうな。アンク、お前はただ長生きで死にづらいだけの死の番人でも何でもない人間だろ。
No. Oh shit, what? Then how is he living? Is he so I remember last stream I think I briefly mentioned that maybe Anku is just a reliver who's been pretending. You're no watchman of death, you're human. We looked at each other as a gust sent lycra petals into the air.
どうしてわかったんだい？
But then he's still able to eat. He can eat the lycra flowers. Is Anku the first drifter? Because I remember having that theory way back when as well, that Anku was the first drifter.
シアンの指摘がきっかけだ。
再確認だ、小娘。お前の正体はリコリス・ノワージュの性質を持つ科学的に証明された死神であれば、 なぜその暗空とやらはお前の。
同郷、あるいは魂の同胞なんて名乗ったのか。シアンはとうに気づいてそう言おうとしたんだろうな。
Teresa's powers as death came from a trait in her body acquired at birth. It had nothing to do with Hades.
なるほどね。
ただ、その時は妙に引っかかる程度の認識だった。だが、あまりにも凄まじかったからな。絶対に神秘的な存在じゃねえなと確信した。
悪かったね。再生する姿が醜くて。私とて好きでこんな肉体になったわけではないのだが。
Okay. So his ability to regenerate is just a biological one.
ついでにもう一つ聞いていいか。
まだ何かあるのかい？私の正体が分かったのならもういいだろ。
Well, no. You're human, but who the fuck are you?
夜、姿を消すとき、不思議な術で煙やリコリスの花吹雪に紛れて消えると、あいつから聞いてたんだな。具体的にはどうやってたんだ？実は術でも何でもないんだろ。
At my comment, Anku became visibly agitated. Yeah, true. A few seconds passed in silence as I waited for his reply.
くれてたんだよ。
Damn it. He's so mad.
煙や風を巻き起こす特殊な爆薬を使い、視界を塞いだ後に近くの建物や影に隠れていたんだよ。
You're fucking with me. You're fucking with me. You're fucking with me. Are you serious, Anku? You fucking nerd. Oh, you are such a dweeb. Oh, you are such a dork. He's Batman. He's fucking Batman. He is so lame. Oh, I love him so much. He's so lame. He's so lame. That's so dumb. I love it so much. I was about to say, like, oh, well, since he can regenerate, maybe he can turn himself into, like, a puddle and, like, move as a small lump of flesh and then like, you know, like, turn himself into a little ball of flesh goo and then, like, you know, goo himself away and then regenerate to a body later. I didn't think it was this. I was just about to say that and then fucking... I use a special explosive to create a burst of smoke and bunker view, and then I hide behind whatever the fuck I can find. Yeah, like, you know, turn himself into a little blob. Like, he could melt himself down into a blob and then, like, scuttle away as a little blob and then make himself a full body again somewhere else, you know? You know, like, turn himself into a puddle or something, I don't know, since he can regenerate like that.
どうだ？これで満足か?
He's so lame. I love him. I'm so... I don't know how else to explain it other than him gooing himself away to make him like goo. I don't know. Oh, he's so lame. He literally plays Batman. This bitch is LARPing as fuck. LARPing so damn hard.
お前、そこまでして。
But I'm wondering, is it true then? Is Anku somehow the first drifter then? I was somehow taken aback that he would go to such lengths to portray himself as the Watchman of Death.
そこまでしなければならない理由がこっちにはあったんだ。
What is your deal, Anku? There are still secrets. There is still shit we don't understand about him.
死の番人などと名乗り演じることに
You
私が
can't
どれ
imagine
だけ
how
の周知を抱い
embarrassing
てい
it
たか。
was. Anku too. This is... I fucking love this so much. Anku too. A human with the power of regeneration. He uses a special explosive when he needs to find a place to hide.
お前には永遠に理解できないだろうな。
You're just a fucking nerd who wants to LARP.
悪い。踏み込みすぎた。
I have respect for Adolfo because I would have burst the fuck laughing at him. I would have lost my shit. I would have started cackling to the high moon. I was just trying to get back at him, but it seemed I struck a nerve. But now he admitted everything. I had a feeling that there were similar weird stories behind all the strange phenomena he caused. Yes. Please. Oh, I need that so much.
彼女を騙していたことについては糾弾しないのかい。
お前のセレスを思う気持ちだけは嫌でも本物だと理解できるからな。普通の女に戻すというのも何かしらの方法があっての提案だったんだろう。
But yeah, so far, okay, my new current theory is that Anku is somehow the first drifter. And something stops him from aging. Like his ability to regenerate maybe keeps him from aging. That is my current my current theory.
ああ、ならいい。ただし身分を偽っていたことはあいつに謝れ。魂が同胞、死神だってことを本気で信じて気落ちしてたからな。
ああ、分かっているよ。君も彼女に伝えたいことがあるのなら、一句たりとも取りこぼさないよう気をつけたまえ。
Maybe, but then maybe, but then we've seen evidence, I'm fairly certain, of him, because Anku knows exactly where Eve's family was buried. He knows all about the Lycris flowers, what they do, how they came from. Like, he knows the truth of everything. So I feel like that doesn't quite make sense. I still feel like there's time travel involved in this somehow. I still feel like Anku is some sort of version of Adolfo from the future. Someone who has returned from the past, like time traveled somehow. It's less of a magical, fantastical time travel and maybe more of an actual technological sci-fi thing, because if they can make Reliver technology, right, where you can clone and you know, make Relivers, then time travel might not be too out of the realm of possibility for this kind of technology that we've been given. But yeah, that's the big thing, is that there's still a big curiosity about, okay, how does if Anku is human, how the fuck did he get all this information when everyone, well, not everyone, but like, you know, so many people on the island haven't been able to get to the truth?
私のように後悔を抱えてからでは遅いのだから。
Yes, see, exactly. That line makes me think that yeah, Anku is some sort of future or alternate version of Adolpha. Let me tell you that if you have something you want to say to her, make sure to not leave out a single word. You don't want to miss the opportunity and end up living in regret like me. And so, we finally came to an accord with one another for the final battle. but that is going to have to be saved for tomorrow. Cause yeah, I am getting EPAF. I need a nap. But, like I said, I am off work for a whole week and a half. So, I'm not gonna be streaming every day because I would like some holiday with my holiday. Not that I don't find streaming relaxing. Streaming is fun and relaxing and I enjoy it a lot. But also I want to have a few days where I do nothing. You know, but yes, we will be back tomorrow for the usual Tuesday/Monday streams, same time. And then I'm not sure if we'll stream Wednesday. Maybe. We might stream Wednesday. Wednesday is a maybe. I know. Actually, funny that I did work yesterday. I worked a Sunday shift despite the fact that my annual leave technically started yesterday. So I did actually work on my holiday. Yes, it's funny you say that. I'm not doing that anymore though. I told them that was a one-off thing to help in an emergency. Yeah. I mean, I didn't get paid, yesterday was not a paid annual leave day. It was just a day marked as unavailable. But yeah, technically my leave started yesterday, but I did an extra 4-hour shift. Which is why I'm so tired, by the way. Yeah. That, and I stayed up to like 6 a.m. watching Supernatural. Probably was also not a good idea. Staying up till 6 a.m. watching TV shows. Not good for the sleeps. Yes, I know. I do this to myself, don't worry. I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware I do this to myself. But yes, tomorrow, same time, we will finish, hopefully, chapter 6 and 7, because I am going to get a proper amount of sleep, and I will not be as tired tomorrow. Oh, you only said it to 3 a.m. Okay. I get it. I must take after your example, Kaze. But yes, tomorrow, 10 a.m. my time. I don't know. I don't know what time that is for you off the top of my head. But yay. Hopefully we'll finish this and get the Despair ending, and then Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what day I stream, we will do mega marathon of all the happy endings, and we will get catharsis and happiness for once in this game. But I need to nap. I am one tired homunculus. Oh, yes, the lullaby. Shoot. Do you mind if it's just something simple? Okay. I'll just do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star again. I will one day research new lullabies that I can sing, but that day is not today. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, How I wonder what you want. Yay! Probably not my best one, but oh well. With that little song sung, I will say, please stay electrifying. I will say you later. No, thank you. I tried a little bit.